Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So in today's video I'm going to talk about why it is okay to be the monster. Yes, often when we choose to walk away from toxic and dysfunctional relations, or we choose to walk away from different people's manipulation, that is the time we are labeled as monsters, as heartless beings, as demons. And I think it's absolutely okay. It's okay to be monster. Yeah. So often what happens is that till the time we are playing along in a toxic dysfunctional relationship, everything is fine. Till the time we serve the purpose in the relationship, it's fine. But the moment we start questioning, the moment we start saying no to any kind of abuse and manipulation, that is the time when the perpetrator, or you can say the manipulator in the relationship, really gets irritated and annoyed. And that manipulator gets even more annoyed when we start questioning them. Why are you behaving like this? Why do you want me to this? Why not this way? Why not that way? And I can't do this much for you. When we start saying no to the manipulator, that is the time when the manipulator gets absolutely angry, and then the manipulator throws all these different kinds of label, that we are being heartless, we are being cruel, we are being monster, we are being demon. But I mean, that's all fine. Those labels really don't define us or makes us demon. You makes us a demon in reality. So now let us understand, why do these people label us? So often these manipulators get used to, and especially the toxic people, they get used to in the habit of abuse and manipulation. So whenever they are practicing abuse and manipulation, it's okay and normal for them, because their needs are being met, and it's absolutely okay in a relationship to abuse and manipulate. So it goes fine. Only when we begin to question, only when we begin to say no, because I can't do anything and everything that my partner wants me to do. I mean, some things I might not like, some things he might not like, and that's what every individual should have. We are not clones to like everything and dislike the same things. So it's okay to say no. If I disagree to something, I can have the freedom to say no, and that is how it should be in every relationship. And by every relationship, I mean whether it's family, love, work, whatever. I mean, if you want to say no to it, you should have that freedom, and you should have that openness around you where you can freely say no without being labeled as being bad, or being wicked, being cruel, not being understanding about the situation, being heartless, being demon, and all of that. So if you see, these labels should not bother you. Often what happens is that these labeling tactics, or these labeling techniques, actually is to make us feel guilty and make us feel ashamed, because we are not doing something which we are supposed to. As per the manipulator, we are supposed to do a certain things a certain way, and when we are not doing it, we are the bad person. So this is absolutely the way how that manipulator or perpetrator sees it. And anyone who doesn't obey or anyone who doesn't subscribe to it, anyone who doesn't obey or do what the manipulator wants them to do, that person is bad, and that person is made to feel guilty, that person is made to feel ashamed of denying or not doing how the manipulator wanted. And let me give you a couple of examples. Some of these manipulative parents will if you don't do what they want you to do, they would label you as a bad son, they would label you as a bad daughter, and that is absolute pure manipulation. I mean, why would someone need to go to an extent of labeling? Aren't we labeled enough by the outsiders in the outside world? Of course we are. I am labeled day and night by outsiders, but if I'm being labeled in my family, if I'm being labeled in my relationships, I need to think about it, whether at all I'm with the outside world or I'm with something that should be much more better and much more happier, or better version from the outside. So this labeling is basically to make us feel bad. This labeling is to re-establish that control, and this labeling is to bring about that emotion inside of us, that shame, that what we were supposed to do we did not do, we went other ways, and because of that we need to feel bad and miserable. And yes, of course, on top of that, the salt and pepper is also applied of beautiful labels like bad, demon, monster. So it's absolutely fine if someone does that, because if someone is labeling you as a heartless son, as a heartless husband, or a heartless wife, that relationship as it is a dead relationship. So there is no point of being in that relationship, because that relationship is purely based on manipulation. And if manipulation is there, definitely dysfunctionality and toxicity is also there. So a relationship should be manipulation free, a relationship should be toxicity free and abuse free. So if a relationship makes you feel or gives you the label of a demon, makes you the bad guy or the bad girl, I don't think that is a right relationship, because an ideal relationship should help you be whoever you want to be, help you be a better version of yourself, and not keep on profiling you and judging you, because as I mentioned earlier, we are judged a lot on a daily basis by the outside world, and if we are being judged and profiled at home as well, that means there's something wrong, there's something wrong, or there is a huge amount of similarity, because the outside world is toxic and dysfunctional, and the same thing is in our family, in our close relations. So yes, don't get scared of being judged, or don't get scared of being labeled, because in the end you should prioritize what you want, what you feel like. You should prioritize your self-worth, you should prioritize your confidence, you should prioritize your mental peace, you should prioritize your happiness. And you should put it on your first priority. Others needs and others necessities and things should be the second. The first should be you and yourself. And I think ideally a relationship should be without any kind of manipulation and dysfunctionality. And also, there is one more aspect that we can't deny, is that when we choose to come out of that manipulative relationship and toxic relationship, when we choose to completely come out, that is also the time when we are demonized. Suppose if I was in a relationship and I said no to the toxicity and manipulation and dysfunctionality, and I came out, then I was labeled as a bitch. Yes. So this is how it works. So either you start questioning and start saying no, or you, when you leave, when you quit, when you just come out of such a toxic relationship, then you are judged. So now a little bit, if you would like to understand what happens in the minds of these toxic people who judge us, who profile us, is that they start losing sense of control. Yes, they start losing control, and because of this insecurity, they want to hurt us and make us feel miserable, and because of that they go to any extent, they go to any extent to make us feel miserable, and so that they can put us off balance, and then they can again re-establish that control. So their entire goal, I think, if a person is labeling, in a relationship, is labeling you as a monster, I think their entire goal is it's absolutely need, motive and interest oriented. That relationship is very much need oriented, motive oriented, and things oriented, because if we can have our own opinion, others can have their own opinion, we can have our own preference, others can have our their own preference. The problem only kicks in when one party wants to impose it on the other, and the other party just says yes to it and endures it, because that party grew up with an understanding that abuse is a part of relationship. A healthy relationship includes abuse. That dysfunctional upbringing has raised that kid with that understanding that abuse is okay. In every family, abuse is okay, abuse is a usual stuff of a relationship, and it's absolutely fine. But the entire dynamics change. So let me give you a small little example. I was very good to a lot of people, but the moment I started taking control of my life, I started saying no to toxicity and abuse and manipulation. That was the time when I was labeled that I'm being bad, I'm demon, I'm heartless, this, that. But in the end, I gave more importance to my mental peace. I gave more importance to my own satisfaction. I gave more importance, or rather I gave more priority to how I was feeling rather than how others were feeling. Yeah, because I could see that there was no remorse on the face of those people who were labeling me. They were just demonizing me, that I'm something bad, and they were okay. But because of them judging me, I felt miserable. I started questioning myself. Am I that bad? Am I a demon? Am I a wicked person? And then I started realizing, I started understanding, and I started having this clear understanding that it's absolutely okay for me to be myself and put my needs on the first priority. And people said selfish and whatnot, but it did kick in, that realization did kick in, and things transformed. So my way of looking at things changed, and you have to be selfish. You just can't be absolutely giving, because again, giving and taking should be, it should keep changing. Sometimes I should give, maybe sometimes you should give, sometimes you should take, sometimes I should give. Yeah, it should keep changing. It shouldn't be me always giving and the other person as someone who's receiving. It should be equal. Yeah, and that is the reason there is a huge amount of dysfunctionality and toxicity in our society. So coming back to being labeled as a monster, I think we should not be scared of being labeled as a monster, because in the end it's you who has to live with your own self. Yeah. And if you are not confident about yourself, if you are not happy about yourself, and if you are not okay with whatever you do or whatever you are or whoever you are, the way how you want, I think other relationships, I don't think would strengthen you. It's you who will strengthen your own self. And there is no point in pleasing others, or other relations at the cost of being manipulated and being invalidated, if you don't serve their purpose, and being validated till the time you serve their purpose. So it's a sad thing, but that's how it is. That's how manipulative and toxic people are around. And I mean, with time, I have realized, accepted the fact that I just need to be myself, and I should not be scared of being judged as bad, good, demon, whatnot. I'm happy being a monster. At least people are scared of monsters. So don't be, don't have that, don't be a victim of being guilt tripped, or don't have this enormous amount of shame if you are being labeled, because you're saying no to something which is not okay, and that's absolutely fine. So it's okay if they are giving you labels. It's absolutely fine. I mean, you must understand, and you must realize that definitely you are powerful, and they are unable to gain control over you, and that is the reason they're trying to break you by calling you a monster. So it's always good to be a monster, and get rid of such toxicity in and around of your life. So yes, never fall prey to manipulation, never become a victim of abuse. And it's absolutely fine to say no. Yeah, so don't hesitate to say no to things which you don't like, which you don't want to get into. You just don't have to do things to please others. Do things to please yourself, and that is how it happens, and that is how it begins. I mean, in a healthy relationship dynamic. So yes, this was all about being the monster. I'm happy being the monster. Are you happy being the monster? Yes, because I mean, I have started saying no. I don't let others feed me information. I don't let others feed me ideas, because my mind works as well. I do explore, I do study, I do a lot of things myself. And I mean, I say no to manipulation. Why should I say yes to manipulation and be a vehicle of others' needs and desires? I can't be the carrier, I can't be the provider, I can't be the giver. So yes, I'm happy being a monster, and I think all of you should be happy being a monster, because in the end, if they are labeling you, trust me, they are not your own. There is no love there. Yeah, so please do take care of yourself. Do like, share, subscribe this channel, and don't forget to comment below in case if you have any such experience that you would like to share. And please take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you, and say no to manipulation, even if it's your own or loved one or family. Just say no to manipulation. Just be the authentic self and prioritize yourself first. Yeah, please take care of yourself. Bye.